Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get your metabolism to elite level as quickly as possible. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one here today, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE content. We got two super thanks shoutouts we have to do, then we'll hop right in. The first one is from Good Malice. He said, your videos are very helpful, man. I look forward to a new video from you after every patch. Keep it coming, brother. Thank you so much. Doing my best over here when it comes to the content, trying to push out those 3 videos every single day for you guys, and I've been absolutely loving it. And the next one's from GVS Dogify. He said thanks, but he also dropped another comment right after, and that one said a few more bucks for the NASA build very soon. We should be probably around like 38 days away from when we can order that. I know it's a little specific, but we're coming up on it, baby. We're getting there slowly but surely. But we're gonna be getting that fairly soon. So make sure you guys are ready for all the streets content that's gonna be coming. So yeah, thank you so much, JVS. Very soon, my friend. So when it comes to metabolism, this should be the first skill you actually get elite. And it doesn't matter what order of operations you go in when trying to level other skills. You should still always get metabolism first. Even if you are farming, like if you're farming strength, you're farming endurance, you're farming any other skill, you will always get metabolism done first, simply because you get so many skill points when actually eating and drinking in raid. And there is a bit of an art to it, and I am going to try and explain that a little bit for you guys, how you can kind of min-max it in your raids and get it to elite as quickly as possible. As for what it actually does for you, it's going to increase the positive effects of food and drinks by 50%. It's going to reduce the negative effect time of stims, food, and waters by 50%. So a very easy way to kind of, understand how that works is if we go to one of our stims here. Let's just go to the mule. When it comes to the health regeneration, it says the duration is 900 seconds. This would now be 450 seconds at the elite level. And then as for the elite skill itself, you do not receive damage from exhaustion or dehydration. That means when you have 0 hydration and 0 energy, you will actually not receive damage and you will not die. Now, I do believe if you have a blacked limb, or I don't know if it's your stomach or if there's some way you can actually die from exhaustion and dehydration, but I think you have to have like a black stomach or a black limb, something like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it. It's not supposed to kill you, but I believe it is bugged right now to where if you do have a black limb or something, that it can actually kill you. One other thing to note, that you will still have slower stamina recovery if you don't have food or water in your system. So if you're exhausted, you are dehydrated, it is still going to affect your stamina. And it's not like you can just go to 0 every single raid and not have anything to worry about. No, there will still be somewhat of a consequence, but at least you will not take damage and at least you will not die. And that can be pretty easily solved like an SJ6 or something like that. So when it comes to actually leveling up your metabolism, to be honest with you, the best way to go about leveling it is to just eat and drink when you find those items in your raids. That is honestly the best way because of how many skill points you get from just a normal bottle of water or from eating a can of meat, something like that. Like if you are replenishing that much energy, 50 to 60 energy, 50 to 60 hydration, you are going to get a ton of skill points. You'll probably get like 15 to 20 skill points just off of that action alone. Now, when you get a bunch of skill points for something in a raid, you will have a leveling debuff. So the debuff is basically for the next 5 minutes. Whatever that action is, if you do it again, you will get a leveling decrease. But if you don't eat or drink anything for 5 minutes, that debuff will go away and your leveling speed should return to 0%, meaning you don't have any increased leveling like you do at the beginning of a raid, but you don't have any decreased leveling. So after about 5 minutes, if you eat or drink something, you're not going to get as many skill points, but you're going to get a lot. So each and every raid, even though they are shortened raid timers right now, you can get a ton of skill points for metabolism. And if you are trying to actively farm it, you should be able to get max metabolism in under 150 raids. Typically, if you're really farming it and you're staying in your raids a long time, you would be able to level up metabolism probably once every 2 raids, and if not every 2 raids, every 3 raids pretty much guaranteed. If you are farming it and really, really focused in, it should take you about 150 raids to go ahead and get the elite level. Now, if you are doing shorter raids or, whatever the case may be, maybe you're playing a lot of factory and you're going in and dehydrating yourself and drinking the water and then leaving, it's going to take you longer, but since those raids are shorter, it's not going to take you as much in real life time, if that makes sense. So just a couple tips. There are some food items and stuff that do dehydrate you. There's also stims that do it, but when it comes to just food in general on the flea market, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff here that we can talk about. So food, I want to show you the Devil Dog Mayo. This is a great one. So if you pop one of these at the beginning of a raid, you will fully dehydrate yourself. 100% dehydrate yourself here just by using one of these, and then a bottle of water that is only like 12K from therapists. I think it's like 12,100 or something like that, 12,400. Drinking this right after using a mayo, that will pretty much replenish your hydration the entire way. And you can start every single raid by doing this, and you will get yourself 14 to 20 skill points, somewhere in that range, I do believe it is. So another thing you can do if you do not want to purchase the Devil Dog Mayo, what takes just a little bit longer in raid, is you can go ahead and grab yourself a regular painkiller. These should be a little cheaper on the flea market, I think. Yeah, only 3K on the flea market. If you use all 4 of these, it'll bring your hydration down to near the 20s. So you can then use a water bottle and you will get a ton of skill points like that as well. This one just takes a little bit longer to constantly be popping the painkiller. But the painkiller doesn't last too long. It's, a little over a minute. So if you don't want your screen blacked out or whatever, or grayed out, that only lasts like a minute. So you could definitely go with that one as well. And you could do that right at the beginning of a raid. As for in-raid, just know your food spawns. There's tons of food spawns on every single map, assuming you know where they are. And that will save your ass a lot. And not just for, getting back energy and hydration and for leveling the metabolism skill. There's a lot of foods that give you some decent skill buffs temporarily. The Hot Rod, for example, is going to give you +1 on mag drills, +1 on endurance, and +1 on strength. Just getting little tiny buffs like that sometimes is really nice and it's helpful. And even though it's only like a 2% increase to your actual stamina bar and a half a kilogram of extra weight from getting a strength point, for 5 minutes, sometimes that's just enough to get you out of a raid or get what you need to get done. And, make sure you're knowing what all these buffs are on some of these food items that will help you out in raid. And, if you're combining that with everything else, you're going to level up metabolism super quickly. And just real quick, to show you what I was referring to, you get +1 on mag drills, +1 strength, +1 endurance, and that lasts for 5 minutes. So, a bunch of items have little tiny buffs like this. And then if you missed our skill guide for leveling up immunity, the max energy drink is a great one for that. You also get some endurance and you get some mag drills if you wanted to use one of these instead. They do not stack though, so just letting you know, if you use a max energy and you use a Hot Rod, the endurance, it won't be +2. It'll still be +1, unfortunately. I wish they did stack, but they don't. So yeah, man, it's really that simple. Just kind of keep your eye on your food and water in your raids, kind of religiously, and at that point, it'll just level itself up. If you are keeping an eye on it and you're making it a priority to make sure you're keeping hydrated and you're keeping well fed in raids, you should get it within a month of even playing casually. If you're only getting in, let's just say 7 hours a week. Let's say you can play 1 hour a day. You should realistically go through your first 10 levels extremely quick because you need less skill points for them. And, you should probably, in my opinion, even if you're getting 3 raids in per day, per week, so let's say you do 21 raids, I think within probably 4 weeks, if you're not already elite metabolism, you're going to be pretty close. You're going to be in the 30s to 40s and give yourself a couple more weeks and you will get it elite leveled out. And that's if you do not have a lot of time to play the game. So that's just my opinion on it. It's the easiest and fastest skill to elite in the game, hence why it's the only elite skill that I still have. I haven't really committed fully to any of the other skills yet. So they'll get elite eventually, and we are slowly building superhuman PMCs, and it's going to be so much fun in a few months when a lot of these do become elite, and a lot of us are running around just absolutely juiced up. So yeah, man, that's going to be our skill guide here today for Metabolism. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on it. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.